Welcome back to the YouTube. I hope everyone on this video is doing well. It's Thursday. Yes, it is Thursday, the 10th of April. I hope everyone's had a blessed week, man. Obviously yesterday we didn't do a daily market outlook, which is obviously absolutely fine. But today we're going to cover because I think we have important news today as well. So we're going to cover our daily market outlook, of course. And I've also got some exciting news as well because I've been sitting and thinking quite a lot recently, especially over the past like month or two, in regards to like people's messages and saying like they struggle a hell of a lot with supply and demand areas and where their supply and demand areas should be, and they think that they can get the market structure. If you guys obviously trade the same style as me, which I'm pretty sure you do if you're on this video. So I want to show you guys something that I'm actually launching. I'm going to take on 10 new people. I've never done this before, but I'm opening up 10 new spots to simply work on a one-to-one basis through a AI scanner. Now, this 10 spots, whoever picks the first 10 spots, whoever gets the first 10 spots, they get them spots. That's it. Like it's first come, first serve. It's not about if I know you, if I don't know you, or we've been speaking for a while. Whoever takes them first 10 spots as quickly as possible, they're the ones I'm going to work with on a one-to-one basis in regards to an AI scanner. Because this AI scanner is amazing. Like, I want you guys to understand that if you struggle with your demand and supply areas, this scanner literally gives you valid supply and demand areas for you. Like, it's incredible. So let's get straight into it, and then I will obviously show you the scanner as well, if you guys are obviously interested. So before we do start, of course, as always, little disclaimer, I want you guys to obviously understand that everything on this channel is simply, for some reason it's not sharing. Give me one sec. Give me one sec. Give me one sec. My apologies about that. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Where's it gone? But yeah, I want you guys to obviously understand that everything on this page is simply educational purpose, educational based only. It's only the content on this channel is only education. It's only for informational purposes only. I am not a financial advisor, and anything that's shared on my content on these videos shouldn't be considered financial or investment advice. So please understand that it involves risk. And you should always conduct your own research before making any financial decisions. So yeah, man, as always, make sure that you guys obviously are careful on the charts. So mate, every time I do these calls or these videos, I simply struggle to find the slide, and when I share it, it doesn't come up. So I do apologize. But let's get straight into the next part, the most important part, I guess. So as you guys can see, it is the 10th, in Thursday the 10th. Yeah, Thursday the 10th. We have core CPI and unemployment claims at 2:30 p.m. So red folder news for the US dollar. Please, 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 please be careful on the charts. Make smart decisions, for yourself. Don't make stupid decisions. Make sure that you take trades. And obviously take the risk. If you're risking any part of your capital, make sure that that capital that you're risking, you're okay losing, because that is the mindset you've got to go in with every time you enter a trade. So we have the US dollar news around 2:30. So again, expect volatility with inside of the US dollar news. Now, going over to the markets. In fact, before we go over to the markets, I'm going to show you a quick trade, which is Euro USD. Before I do that, let's cover why I took this trade. So simply looking at the US dollar, you'll be able to notice that it's been a bit mad recently. We had the daily break of structure here. We failed to come into this daily supply area. And then obviously from here, we obviously broke structure again. So we broke structure, and then we was expecting a retracement and then to carry on downwards. But one thing that I mentioned on my daily market outlooks to you guys was we have a lot of imbalance here, and we have a fresh daily supply. So we're either going to come into this daily supply, or we're obviously going to fill in this imbalance. So that's something that I was always aware of, and something I made sure that you guys were aware of as well. Now, as you can see, we had that daily change of trend. So we had that daily change of trend, and we tapped into a lot of imbalance. Now, as you guys can see, we're getting quite a lot of sell volume coming in. So we're just very aware. From a daily perspective, I've not mitigated this supply, and this daily demand is a big daily demand candle. So if you're going off a daily demand candle, we're currently in where this body is, this whole area here. So that is a valid daily demand. By the way, I've changed up my charts. I hope you guys don't mind. It's better for my eyesight, to be fair. I know it's grey and black, but I'm feeling grey and black, so it is what it is. But yeah, daily demand area here, which we're currently coming into. But one thing I wanted you guys to understand is there's two plays that were going to happen. We're either going to fill in the rest of this imbalance, which is what I expected, and I was waiting for a 4 hour change of trend. Now let's just follow the trend that was happening on the 4 hour. Well, as you guys can clearly see, we obviously had this big bullishness. We then had a little pullback. We come up. This area here should have been our 4 hour higher low to create a 4 hour higher high. We failed to create that 4 hour higher high. And what happened? We dumped. We dumped. We had the change of trend here. Where did the market come back into? Well, this fresh 4 hour supply. And then that's where we're slowly moving away from. So let's just get rid of this. And let's just get rid of this noise. You can see that this 4 hour supply candle with the imbalance below is where the market came back into and then dumped away from. So pretty easy to understand. We've got imbalance to fill, so I was expecting the market to eventually come down. Once I've seen that we broke, we failed to create a new higher high, and then we had this movement down. I expected the market to obviously carry on down. So this here was where we had that first 4 hour change of trend. So give me 1 second, guys. I'm just going to have to pause this and let my missus in. 1 second, 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. My missus was at the door. She didn't have a key, so I do apologize. But yeah, as you can see, we obviously had this pullback. This, clarified to me that we're obviously having a lot of sell volume. We come back up, filled in this imbalance, taps into this 4 hour supply, and now we're slowly moving away again. So that allowed me to obviously utilize what I know on Euro USD and pretty much the same scenario. If you look at the daily, we obviously have this daily range here from this low to this high. I've been saying to you guys, if you remember, I think Monday, you can go and watch back the video. We was inside of this like daily demand area here. So we had that daily demand area, and I understood that, okay, are we retraced deeper than the 50%? You can see we've retraced deeper than that 50%. There's no real imbalance or anything in here. So we could see as soon as we get to the 50%, the market move away. So now I went down to the 4. And as you guys can obviously notice, this is the imbalance where we were talking about. We come back in and we started to slowly just go sideways. This means that the volume is slowing down. I was waiting for some sort of significant break. And what did we get? We got this break here. So if you look, follow the trend, we'll follow the trend. Then we slowed down. Then we started to consolidate here. We started to consolidate. Pardon me. We started to consolidate, going sideways, failing to break, failing to break. And then what happened is the volume obviously came into the markets, breaking this area here. So once I seen this, you guys can see that this was my 4 hour demand area. So let me just get rid of that. That was my 4 hour demand area. This last candle that obviously caused this breaker structure. So I went down to the 1 hour, and what can I see? Can I see any sort of imbalance? Well, I can see this imbalance here, and I can see this last candle here as well. And let me just get rid of the 4 hour demand. And as you guys can see, that's exactly where the market come into. We've got a little bit of imbalance above this 1 hour demand, market pull back. And it's currently done around a 124 almost, which is amazing. Now, the beauty about this is the scanner, and I'm going to show you exactly why. So let's go over to the scanner, and as you guys can see, you can mark up the scanner yourself. It's called levels, obviously, if you get access to it. Now let's focus on obviously what's happening here. So same scenario, we've got our daily higher low and our daily higher high. You can clearly see that, same as what we had on my normal chart. Now let's follow the trend that's happened. You can notice that we had this downtrend happening here. We was creating obviously the lower lows, lower highs. We failed to go and create a new lower low. This is where we slowed down. So as I explained, once I seen this volume come up and had the 4 hour change of trend here and here, I noticed straight away that obviously this was a possibility. So guess what I had to do? If I was you, all I have to do is click bulls. So if I don't know where to enter the trade, I click bulls, and this will bring up a 4 hour demand area, a valid 4 hour demand area. If it's for sells, I would just simply click bears, and that would bring up a supply area. Now, as you can see, it brought up this demand area on the 4 hour. Now, there's two options that you guys can utilize with this. You can either utilize this with setting a trade from the top of the box, like this, top of the demand box as your entry, or you can simply use the middle of the box from a 4 hour perspective. So that's two ways. Obviously, the middle of the box gives you a better risk to reward, as you guys can see. But how much easier is that? Once you can identify what trend you're in, you can simply click bears and bulls, and this will bring up valid supply and demand areas, and you can simply set your buy limits and sell limits as easy as that. And the reason I wanted to show you that, guys, is because this is what I'm taking on. The next, the first 10 people that reach out to me, you guys are going to get access to me on a one-to-one. I'm going to teach you exactly how to use this through a boot camp. And we're going to work closely on a daily basis with this as well. So yeah, if this sounds like something you're interested in, reach out to me from this call. Be as fast as possible because, like I said, first 10 people, once the spaces are gone, they're gone. So yeah, let's have a look at where we're currently at. So we're currently in this area right now. Of course, if we expect the pullback, we would want to see the pullback happen probably into this imbalance here and then carry this trend on upwards. But everything revolves around what the dollar is doing. So we look at the dollar first. If we've got some sort of imbalance below here that we could come and fill. But I'm also, aware that we're inside of this this level of demand area here, or we're close to this level of demand area here. So just be very aware of that. But yeah, I expect the dollar, of course, to carry on downwards. We've just had this break here. We've got some sort of imbalance. So I would like to see the market retrace to either around this area as a 4 hour supply area. But one thing you guys can do is if we can see a 50% pullback and then we can see some sort of reaction. So we can see a 50% pullback and then we can see some sort of reaction on lower time frames that could give us confidence then to look for sells. If I drop down to the 1 hour, yeah, that will probably be my valid. This mitigated this, this is mitigated this. Yeah, we've got some sort of imbalance. So yeah, that's probably where I've been looking at the US dollar to naturally come back into. Again, it's news day, so we could just do the complete opposite, of course, and just be aware of that. Which leads me obviously onto your USD. If we can get a pullback on the dollar into this supply, we should see a pullback into this demand on Euro USD, which around this area of demand. So that's where I would like to see my 4 hour demand area come back into. Now, what we can do is I can utilize levels and see if levels gives me a another demand area. So as you can see on the 4 hour, it's not going to give us a demand because it's only this one. But if we drop down to, let's say, the 2 hour, can we see another demand? Okay, not right now. What about the 1 hour? Okay, not right now. So as of right now, it's not giving us a valid demand area. So what I would advise is obviously just sitting on your hands. Sitting on your hands and just being patient. But for myself, I would want to see a pullback and then potentially see the trend carry on upwards from this area. Now, GBP USD, a little bit more complicated. We met this supply area, but failed to actually tap into it, which was from here yesterday. We didn't tap into it. We filled in the rest of this imbalance, and then we failed to go and create a new lower low. And now we're having this bullishness happen. So what can I expect? There was no valid demand area for me. But if we look at where we're currently at, what can we currently see? Well, we can see that we're breaking above this from a 1 hour perspective and also this 4 hour. So we are breaking above this high right now. So yes, we're coming into the deeper part of this supply, but if we expect bullishness from EU and bearishness from US dollar, we expect bullishness as well from GBP USD. So simply, let's go to GBP USD and see if this gives us any valid demand areas as of right now. Potentially it won't on the higher time frames. Yeah, I don't think it will just because it's not as clean as of right now. Yeah, I would like to see a deeper retracement, Joe. So GBP USD is not moving as nice as we would like. as you can see from this area here. So just be very, very aware of that. But again, something I'm not looking to trade. I'd rather trade EU because it's a lot more cleaner looking than GBP USD. Going over to AUD USD. Now this looks nice to me. So daily, you can see that we're almost in this daily supply. We're almost in this daily supply. I expect to at least come and fill the rest of this supply in. So can we see some sort of retracement into this demand and then potentially see this supply area take control to go and carry this trend on downward? So that's my main thought from a daily. So looking at the 4 hour, what can we see? Well, looking at the 4 hour, this is my 4 hour demand area that I would like to see met. We've got imbalance above. We was consolidating, failed to close below. We liquidated the bottom, and then we had this movement up. So I want to see the 4 hour demand area come into here, and then obviously naturally come up into this supply and make a decision. The extreme supply zone that I've been looking for would be around this area for a 4 hour supply extreme area. So this is the area that I'd like to buy up into. So again, let's go over to AUD USD and let's see what she's got for us. So we've identified on here the trend that we're in. We've had this 4 hour break change of trend, which is just here. Now, all I simply have to do is I'm going to click bulls. And as you guys can see, it's brought the exact same demand area that I have. So same scenario, they want to see the market come in and carry on this upwards. Now, does this give a supply area? Yes. This is also giving a supply area where we actually have just been talking about with a 4 hour. So this is a good scenario of maybe buying this up into this area. So a great way to look at this. And also, if you put my strategy onto this, and we go to the daily lower high, daily lower low, I click bears. This gives me my daily supply area as well, which is the exact same daily supply area as I have on here, as you guys can see. So you can see the power with this AI tool that you guys can get access to. So yeah, as I've just explained, I expect the bullishness to carry on upwards from here. Now, that leads me to NU, and NU is pretty much the same. Now, NU, if you look at a daily, we have a much larger daily supply zone. So yes, understand that it's a risk to obviously carry on buying this up, but if it aligns, it would make sense to come into a deeper retracement and then see we can see a change of trend to carry this on downwards. So if you look at this right now, I'm going to go to NZUSD. And as you guys can see, this gives me a better supply zone on here. Oh, this is 4 hours, sorry. Daily, and it gives me exact same supply zone on here. So we're inside of that supply zone on the daily time frame. So what I want to do is I want to go drop down to the 4. And as you guys can see, I've identified this 4 hour supply area as my extreme supply zone. Same scenario on the scanner. You can see that it's give the same supply zone on the scanner as well. So this is where I'm wanting the market to potentially see the bearishness happen from. So we understand that from a daily perspective. Now, looking at the 4 hour, you can see that we met this 4 hour supply area here, which is this supply. We come back up, tapped in, moved away, broke structure. We then again mitigated a 1 hour supply, failed to close below. We liquidated the bottom, and then we failed to close below, and then we had this bullish movement up, giving us a 4 hour change of trend. So my 4 hour demand area is from here, and I'm expecting the market to potentially, again, like I just said, come into here and then carry this on upwards. So we go to the 4 hour which we're on, click bulls. This one doesn't give on here. Oh, my apologies. This one's not giving a 4 hour. Where's that gone? Demand area just yet. Now again, what we can do is if it's not giving a 4 hour, you can drop down half of the time frame to the 2, which is give one here, or you can drop down to the 1. And as you guys can see, it's given 1 hour supply area, which aligns with my 4 hour supply area here. So if I drop down to the 1, you can see that this candle here is the same candle as here. So me preferably, yes, we could see this demand area met, but I personally would like to see this one met. That's what I would like to see. But again, this could still be, that is a 1 hour valid demand area because the scanner has given that demand area as well. So yeah, the demand area that it's just given is obviously this area here. Let me just get rid of this noise. So yeah, these are either two of the demand areas got a lot of imbalance below here. So it wouldn't surprise me if we do dip below into this demand area, but obviously we could react from here. But you guys obviously will understand what I'm talking about. It's pretty easy to see. That leads me to USD CAD, which is not moving as nice as I'd like, to be fair. We obviously had, the 4 hour trend, if we look, which was, we obviously had this here. We then failed to go and create a new higher high, as you guys can see. We then created this, which was a lower high, and we had this area here. This was where the 4 hour change of trend happened. So once we got that 4 hour change of trend, where did this candle come back into? Well, it came into this supply area here. So it came into this supply area, and then we had this big movement away. So I had this big movement away, and then where did we come back into? Well, imbalance into this whole supply candle here. We come back in, failed, come back in, and now we've moved away again. So for me personally, if we look at the dollar, we expect the dollar to potentially pull back and then carry on. So I'll be looking at USD CAD saying, oh, can we get a pullback and then potentially carry on downwards from here? So if we look from a daily, what can we see so far? Nothing major. What can we see from a 4 hour perspective? But you can see that down on this area here, there's no real imbalance. So I don't really like any supply areas here. The one candle that sticks out to me the most is this large candle here. This probably sticks out to me the most, where I potentially like to see a market react from. If I just cut down the time frame to either 2 or 1 hour, yeah, you could either do this, or if I go to the 1, you can obviously have this area of supply here, which has this imbalance below. So yeah, that's what I'd like to see, potentially from a USD CAD perspective. Now, if I go to USD CAD on here, let's see what it does. So on the 4 hour, again, it's not give us any supply, which I wasn't really confident enough it would do. If we drop down to the 2 or the 1, can we see any of supply? Okay, perfect. So as you guys can see, this is given this supply area here, as well as this. Yes, as you can see, we're tapped in and we can move away from here, which will be, if we drop down to the 1, which will be the supply area that we're currently reacting from here. We have a lot of imbalance, so I would like to personally see the market retrace, use this as liquidity, and then potentially see the market carry on downwards from here. So if you look at this, I would like to see this area met personally, me personally. But again, it could just carry on from here. Okay, perfect. That's USD CAD. Let's see what else we have in store. We got USD CHF. Look at that beauty. Working perfectly to a T. If you look at the daily, we haven't had the pullback into the supply. We had obviously this movement here, which you guys can see, and then we had the pullback, and then we had this. It looks more clean on the 4 hour as a 4 hour trend, which we talked about. So you can see pullback liquidated these highs here. Liquidated these highs here. And then we had this break. Now the market's pulled back into this last 4 hour supply candle here, and we're now slowly moving away from this candle. If I cut down half of the time frame, that would give me a nice supply area in which I'll be looking to trade from here. This would be a 2 hour, 1 hour supply. If I drop to the 1, yeah, 1 hour supply area. Why is that my 1 hour supply area? Well, if you look at the trend, we had a break from here. That was my first break. First 1 hour break, change of trend. And then what happened? We broke, come back in, and then we had this move. So this is my second confirmation, which is here. So I want to see the market potentially retrace in here and then carry on downwards from there. So let's see if we get that. Pretty nice setup, I think, for USD CAD for you guys to take a look at. Let's go, let's go, let's go. But obviously be aware as well, the news with this all this imbalance, if I just and you've got to always play devil advocate because of all this imbalance here and this daily supply, it wouldn't obviously surprise me if we had a spike up and then we got the movement away from there. But again, play what you guys can see. Don't worry about that for now if you can't see that. Now, USD Japanese yen. Of course, we expect it to carry on doing what the dollar's doing. If the dollar's moving down, we expect the Japanese yen to carry on moving down as well. So if we look at the USD Japanese yen, we didn't quite meet this supply area, but we have liquidated these highs and we're slowly moving away. So we are in this demand area daily, pardon me, but we didn't close above this. We wicked above, which tells me a lot. So because we wicked above, it tells me that that's a liquidation. It's not a 4-hour break, 4-hour change of trend. So with this being said, I expect if the dollar's going to carry on, I expect this to carry on downwards from here, unless we get some sort of different outlook where we can obviously come into this supply area and fill in the rest of this imbalance here. But again, are we going to get that or are we not? We're not too sure. If we look at the 1 hour, what can you see? Well, we liquidated this high and we're slowly starting to move away. We're slowly starting to create them, higher highs and, lower highs and lower lows. So again, I'm going to I don't like the look of this fully because of this imbalance in this supply. So I'm going to stay away from USD Japanese yen myself, just to be truthful with you guys, because I think there's other setups that look a little bit more cleaner like this. Now, again, let me just see USD CHF on here to see if it actually has given it. I don't think it has USD CHF, does it? USD CHF, maybe it doesn't. No, we don't have. Oh, yeah, we do. There we go. Boom. Okay, USD CHF. What can we see? So, click bears. You can see exact same scenario. Remember, how powerful is this scan? If you're watching this and never seen it before, or you never used it before, geez, you guys are missing out. 4-hour range is here to here. We met this supply area, which again is the exact same supply, 4-hour supply area that I have, which we've come into. Now let's get rid of this noise. And then let's drop down to the 2-hour and 1 hour to see if it gives us a fresh supply area. So as of right now, it's not, but this is an old supply. But again, with your experience of working with me, guys, you can see that I expect the market to retrace into this area here and then carry this on downwards. But yeah, very, very powerful tool to have as you guys are witnessing on here. So yeah, that is pretty much it for me today. I hope you guys got the value that you guys needed or wanted. I appreciate you as always for plugging in. If you have any questions, feel free to obviously let me know in the comment section. I would prefer if you obviously drop me a private message on my Instagram. You can go to the bio on YouTube and simply, message me through my Instagram on there. But yeah, 10 spots, be as fast as possible. Let's help you guys become as profitable as possible, as fast as possible. Other than that, take care and have an amazing rest of your Thursday. God bless.